Hey people, Taylor here. So you might be asking, what am I looking at here? What you're looking at here is me desperately trying to think of a video to make. So what I'm making here is a tier maker list thing. So all FROMSOFT Souls boss fights, Elden Ring included, tier list maker. As you can plainly see, it's got fucking all of them. So I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna do all of them and I'm gonna explain it. And this is gonna be the objective, absolutely 100% objective tier list. And this is just correct. Because I am like the Souls expert, at least among, at least compared to Clayton, who played Bloodborne for like an hour, and that's about it. I've only played a little bit of DS2, and I'm working on replaying Dark Souls 1 so I can play the DLC. So that's outside the realm possibility, but you'll see. We're gonna add really quick a row below, and that one is going to be called Haven't Fought, and then we're gonna make that we're gonna make that sort of pink, magenta, I don't know. Anyways, we start off with Demon Souls, which is the best game of Souls in the title. Old Monk. This is a fucking this is like an A tier boss. It's almost S tier. It's a really fun. All the bosses, most of them anyways, especially the archdemons in Demon Souls, are all like gimmick fights for the most part. Old Monk is one of the archdemons, and it's an online like PvP fight. Unfortunately, if you're playing the PS3 version or just offline, you don't get anybody. So you're sort of missing part of that sort of experience unless you're playing online and on like the PlayStation 5 remake. And I haven't. I've only ever played the game on PS3, so it's like, okay. Still really fun. Next one's Adjudicator, also from Demon Souls. I'd probably put this one in B. It's one of the weaker bosses. It's really simple. It's just like big guy with tongue and big guy with sword. It's the same guy, by the way. And then there's a bird, and then you shoot the bird. It's kind of it. It's not bad. It is a solid boss fight, though. And like all the boss fights in Demon Souls, really good music. Really good fucking music. Old Hero is going to be going up in A tier. It's kind of a standard sort of modern Soulsy sort of boss fight with the added advantage of the boss being blind. So you can go in there and you can use like the Thieves Ring, and you can sort of play as like a stealth fight. So there's that little extra gimmick. There's something really fun. Storm King goes straight up to S tier. This is the first of the, like, you have to find the weapon fight. There's 3 of these in this, as far as I'm aware. There's probably one in Dark Souls 2. I just haven't played in far enough to get it. This is the first one. I think it does it best just because the spectacle is just so insane. Like, it's just holy shit. There's like fucking giant flying manta rays up in the sky, and the Storm King is so fucking huge. It's a really fun fight. Leechmonger next is going also in B tier. It's just kind of like it's a decent fight. You got sort of like verticality to it, where you gotta start from sort of the top of these platforms, and he's at like the bottom, and you gotta sort of work your way down. He's throwing leeches at you. He can heal. It's kind of difficult. It's a decently challenging fight. Dirty Colossus is sort of on the same level too, where they're like, okay, it's a fight. It's a decent fight, but there's not really any kind of gimmick to it. The Leechmonger and Dirty Colossus are kind of so the exceptions, except visually they're really interesting. And those are part of the Valley of Defilement, and that's Maiden Estrella. She's the arch demon of that, and she's, I would say, S tier. She is the most interesting, gimmickly sort of fight, and atmospherically as well, I would say. You don't even really fight her directly. She's basically at the end of this room. She's just sitting in the corner on like a rock, and you have to get past her bodyguard. And it's like, okay, well, how do I do it? You have to really fucking, like, holy shit, like, be really careful. Like, oh, you gotta get past him, or you can try and get down, but then there's all these, like, fucking babies in the water, but they're like demon babies. It's like a challenge. Like, okay, how do I get to the boss fight? And then once you get her, she'll more than likely just kill herself. So it's like, oh, okay, and you feel kind of bad, and, like, the lore around her is really interesting. I like her a lot. Penetrator. Penetrator's I would say an A tier fight. He's very much a standard sort of Soulsian sort of boss. With some really fun build-up. But with the added benefit of having, there's this character, if you rescue him earlier in the level, he'll join you for this boss fight, and the two of you just fucking wreck Penetrator in like 5 seconds. And it's like, holy shit, what happened? What the fuck just happened? It's done. Like, immediately, it's like, what? You don't even have time to fight the boss. It's such a fun moment. It's like, what? And you just, yeah. Blue Dragon, I'd probably put down in B tier. Both of the dragons are just kind of in my opinion, because you can't really fight them directly, is the thing. They're more like stage hazards. You can kind of fight them, but it basically just amounts to standing really far away and hitting them with like a bow and arrow or a crossbow, or getting lucky with like your spell aiming. They're not fantastic. Visually, they're really great. Otherwise, I'd probably put them down in C tier. They're probably the weakest bosses in like the game. Old King of Lant is, I would say, probably like the actual final boss of the game. The final boss is coming up in a sec. But Old King of Lant is kind of like, it's the ultimate sort of challenge. It's got a it's a very Soulsy sort of boss where he's really fast and he hits really hard, and he has close range options and long range. But with the added difficulty of a really hard dealing grab attack that can de-level you. And it's the only time that you ever see that in the whole series. It's nuts. It's like, holy shit, it's such a crazy moment. Really fun. Vanguard, I put up an A tier. It's not really a boss that you're supposed to beat. You're intended to lose to him. But he's every time you start a new playthrough, it's like, oh, I'm gonna beat Vanguard. I'm gonna kill Vanguard for the first time. No, you're not. No, you're fucking not. You get like more than one hit. You get hit more than like once, and you don't want to like waste all your grass and shit, right? So you're trying to be really, really careful, but you get hit, you're so squishy at the start, even as like a knight character. Like someone with really, really high endurance and vitality, you're dead. You're just gonna get fucking hit, but he's a fun fight. And he reappears later, just sort of apropos of nothing. Just, okay, here we go. Another S tier is King of Lant, the actual King of Lant. Because the old King of Lant is actually, it's a false king. It's sort of like an illusion, a demon created by the true Lant. I really like King of Lant is another really gimmick fight, because you beat him. He's the actual boss of the game, as opposed to, like, in terms of like the challenge and everything. Old King of Lant is like a real sort of final boss, but the true king is the actual boss, as opposed to he's the last health bar, like boss sort of you fight, but he's just like a pathetic blob. Just sitting there, and he sort of vainly flops towards you, and you can't, like, he can't really harm you much. But sort of visually, it's really interesting, and he's yelling at you the whole time. No one wants to go on. It's really fun. I really like it, because he looks like an evil frog. Primeval Demon. I've never managed to actually encounter one of these fucking dudes. Because you need to get to either pure white or pure black world tendency, and world tendency is a weird system in Demon Souls. But apparently they're just like, you fight them and you just get like a soul off of them. It's really, really like an upgrade material sort of soul. They're not really like a boss, but I have yet to encounter one, because I don't know how to properly manipulate the fucking world tendency. Phalanx, S tier boss. It's so fucking simple. It's such a simple boss, and for a first boss, it's got a really, really great gimmick too. It's so good. Where you've got like all these sort of stabby guys. They're like a phalanx, like a shield sort of formation around this boss, the actual boss that's like inside, and it's just like a black blob. And you have to like whittle those down, and once you've killed all of them, it'll sort of go around and hide in the corner. And you encounter the Phalanx, like a couple enemies sort of on the way, so you can get sort of a foreshadowing and get an idea of what they are. It's so fucking well designed. Demon Souls has really, really well designed encounters overall. Red Dragon is basically the same as the Blue Dragon, where you can't really fight him, just can't do much. Tower Knight, I'd probably put an A tier. His moveset's not super, it's not bad by any means, but it's just kind of limited. If you're playing like a melee character, you just hit his feet. Overall, it's pretty well designed. I like the fact, I'd say probably one thing that sort of boosts it up quite a bit is the fact that when you get in there's fucking archers, like, on all sides, and you walk into, like, this big sort of courtyard, and the archers just pop out, and you have to go and deal with those guys first, and sort of slowly make your way around, while the Tower Knight's shooting, like, a magical spear at you. That's a fun moment. Armored Spider, I'd say, is probably the weakest boss in the game, in my opinion. Like, he's more annoying on certain, playstyles than really anything. especially if you're fat rolling, because he's at the end of like a long tunnel, and you have to get there, and he'll shoot fucking fire rocks at you, and also like try and web you up, and it'll slow you down. But if you get hit by the fire, it burns like the webbing off. So that's a cool sort of gimmick. It's really fun. But mostly like the actual fight, once you manage to get up there, if you're playing a melee character, if you're playing sort of a ranged character, you'll probably be a bit more squishy. It sort of varies things up a little bit. But a melee character is mostly going to get up there and then wait until he starts, like, he's going to try and explode. He's like a sort of like a fire blast sort of all in the area, and you got to run away, and then you slowly make your way back up. It's not fantastic. But overall, there's a couple good things still. Flame Lurker. This one, I'd probably put it at A tier. He's super fucking fast. He is hard. Really, probably one of the harder fights in the game. Just like a holy shit, like, coming right at you. He's super aggressive. He is probably the most aggressive boss. And there's like a delayed fire explosion with his attacks, and you gotta come in there really, really prepared. You want to get like the purple flame shield, and you want to get like it's like a ring of fire protection. You want to be ready, because otherwise he's just gonna fucking waste you. But he's a fun fight, and he's very tough. Dragon God, I'd probably put it A tier. I like the gimmick. It's basically a non-fight where you sort of run around this arena while he punches at you, and you go towards these crossbows and you shoot him, and then after a while he'll get sort of knocked down, and then you go down, you hit him a little bit, and that's about it. But the visual spectacles are really, really fun. I like the gimmick. I like gimmick fights. That's why I like Demon Souls so much, instead of just challenge with very, very similar movesets, you have different stuff. Fool's Idol, I'd probably put it A tier as well, leaning towards S. It's a really, really good fight, especially like atmospherically and visually, for the first area of Latria. And lore-wise, I really, really think it's fun. But she produces like copies of herself, and you got to sort of figure out which one's which by the magic that it uses, because one will use like a more powerful version of a specific spell. It's pretty fun. Maneater, probably an S tier. It's the only boss in the game where you fight two enemies, and that for a lot of people that's like, oh, holy shit, that's quite the jump in difficulty. Depending on sort of how you play it, I found it pretty fair. I know some people have said, oh, this is it just feels unfair as like a fight, but I didn't have any issue with that myself. And it's super, super challenging, and I really like the arena. It's basically the predecessor to one of the bosses in Demon Souls 1 that we'll sort of get up to. But like, I think aesthetically is one of the things. Demon Souls aesthetics are fantastic. It's everything the build up to, and the atmosphere and the music. It's everything that makes sort of a complete package that I feel a lot of the when they reuse these ideas in later games, it sort of feels like it's lacking. So now that's Demon Souls. Mostly really fucking high. I fucking love this game. It's one of my favorites. Like, not just in the series, but in general. Now we're on to Dark Souls 1. I'd say this is a very overrated game. But Ornstein Smo, I'd probably put it B tier, leaning towards A. It's pretty good. It's a boss that feels like it's okay, you can get through all the rest of the game basically just solo. Without having to summon anybody, as long as you're skilled enough. But Ornstein Smo feels like you want to summon someone for this. It's a little bit of a gimmick fight, the way I've always felt. Because I've played the game. I've played through Ornstein Smo more than a few times, and by myself, it always feels very difficult. It always just feels like, holy shit, they're coming at me. And a lot of people will disagree. Some people will say that, like, no, it's really, really fair, and you can kind of leash one and sort of manage them respectively. But I've always felt that you need to summon a person. That's kind of the gimmick, is it's like, okay, this is the fight where you have to summon someone to fight, and that's fine. Pinwheel there's nothing really wrong with Pinwheel. He's just like pathetically easy. When I first played Dark Souls all the way through, I forgot that the next boss here, the Gravelord Nito, I forgot that Nito existed. I thought Pinwheel was like the final boss in his area. So I was prepared for a tense, harsh encounter with like fucking lives at stake here, and I killed him in like 10 seconds. He started multiplying himself, and I just killed him, and he dies. It's like, what? It's kind of like, where's fucking Penetrator? Like Penetrator, where you kill him so quickly, it's like, wait, what? What happened? But aesthetically, I really like him, and he has kind of interesting lore, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Neato, I'll give him, he's kind of neato. I'll give him B. He's got a really, really cool arena. You take damage as soon as you enter, so there's a lot of stuff that makes you really panic in this fight. And you don't want to panic. You do not want to panic. That's like the worst thing you can do. Because of his arena is like a donut. And the further back, like the further up the donut you go, the more skeletons will show up and they'll start of waking up. And Neato has like a fucking attack where you can like send a sword through the ground, and he's like, holy shit. He's hard. He is a hard fight, but it's made a hell of a lot easier by having ranged attacks and by keeping calm. If you can keep your calm, you can do it a lot easier. Next is Great Grey Wolf Seif. I like this one a lot. It's an A+ boss. It's not like amazing by any means, but it's really, really good for sort of the stuff surrounding it, I guess. For sort of you're fighting this noble wolf with his old master's sword. And the quest line you have to go fight him to get like a specific ring, and I really like the idea that sort of you have to go on this sort of little encounter to this out of the way place to get a specific item. And I like that he gets more wounded over time. Everyone likes that because it's a fun, like no other bosses do that in the series really. So everyone's like, oh cool, he gets more wounded. That's accurate. Like that's a thing that happens when you beat the shit out of a wolf, right? That's fun. Four Kings. This is a boss I find more annoying than anything. Like, it's not bad by any means. Oh, and by the way, I'm probably gonna like move some of these around at the end because I'm immediately like, I don't know about this tier and this tier. I'll see. Like, there's a lot of fucking bosses. This is a long video probably. So we're gonna things are gonna happen. Anyways, Four Kings. I just find it more annoying. Also, the fact that you can spawn up to like 12 kings if you're being short, because what happens is that you get into this area and you have to... this is the quest that's involved with Seif, where you have to go and you drop down into the abyss, and you need to have a ring to walk on the abyss. Otherwise you just fall through. I really like that. It's kind of a weird sort of area. Otherwise you're just in like perfect black space. But one king spawns, and you have to fight them really, really quick. Otherwise, I think it's like 10, 15 seconds, maybe 20 seconds. I don't know the exact time. But after a predetermined amount of time, the next king will spawn. And that'll keep happening until you've done enough damage. There's like a health bar that all of them share. But it can spawn up to like 12 kings, and it gets more annoying than anything. You have to be like really fucking fast. It's kind of a complete opposite level of design from all the rest of the Dark Souls, where you want to be cautious and you want to be patient. This, you want to be fucking fast. It's really annoying. It's very outside the box compared to the rest, and I don't think that works super well because all the rest of them have really consistent designs. Demon Fire Sage. I'm going to put this one in F because this boss gets reused like 50 times. Okay. We're gonna do all the demons here. We're gonna do a silent demon. This is D. It's fucking where's Vanguard? Where's Vanguard on here? Is Vanguard but less cool looking. It looks like Vanguard after he's let himself go in a less interesting environment and less interesting aesthetics. And like, okay, fine. Then you fight Stray Demon. You come back to the asylum. This is the tutorial boss, and you fight Stray Demon after you fall through the floor. Okay, and then you go to fucking Demon Ruins, and there he is again, but this time with fire, and it just gets less and less interesting every single time. And then they reuse this boss like 500 times in Elden Ring, and we'll get to fucking Elden Ring. But Centipede Demon, I'd put him in B. I like the demon boss fights mostly. This is kind of a weird little fucking thing, and he's like crawls in the ceiling, and you gotta be careful because the area is mostly lava. But once you kill him, you get a ring to let you walk on lava, and hey, presto, there you go. Here's the worst fucking boss I've ever fought in any game ever. Bed of Chaos it's an attempt. It is an attempt at a gimmick fight, where you get into this area and you can't immediately hit the boss. There's like magical orb things to the side. So you go fight one, you bash one out, and then, okay, the boss is weakened a little bit, and he pulls out a new phase. And then you have to go to the other side and do the same thing. But this time the floor is gonna fall underneath you randomly, and the whole time, like, the legs of the Bed of Chaos are fucking flailing everywhere, like, oh my god, I don't know what's happening. And it's the only boss, I would say, in all these games that feels, like, actually unfair. It's the only one that makes me angry. Like, I unironically get really mad playing it, so I use the fucking exploit where you quit out of the boss. You quit out, and it'll take you back outside the boss door, and then you can go sort of like from a starting neutral position and try it again. The only good thing about this is that when you die, the like phases still continue. Things carry over, but then after you do the second one, then you have to go in the middle, and more things fall. It's just terrible. It's fucking awful. Seat the Scaleless. He's fine. He's not amazing by any means. He's a lot of the bosses in Dark Souls 1, I say, are just kind of riding that mediocrity line. It's fine. He's like a boss, and the gimmick. There's a little bit of a gimmick with this one, is that there's a big crystal at the end, and you have to, and then when you beat that up, then you destroy that, and then you can do damage to him. It's okay, whatever. But I hate the Duke's Archive area, so it kind of colors that my whole impression is like, holy shit, I fucking hate this whole area. I really like the lore though. Seath has some of the most interesting backstory in my opinion. Crossbreed Priscilla, I'm gonna put her in A because she's just a solid, really simple boss fight in an optional area. Aesthetically, I really like her. I love the painted world. It's so cool looking, and she can turn invisible. But you can still see like her footprints in the snow. That's such a cool detail. This is just a really fun boss. Dark Sun Gwyndolin, I'd probably put in B, leaning towards A. He has like a weird gimmick where he's in like a hallway, and it's like an endless hallway, and you gotta keep running after him, and he'll use projectile attack, but once you get close, he can't really do a whole lot. So you just gotta keep sort of running after him and try to keep up, and then once you finally kill him, then the hallway sort of goes back to normal, and it's no longer endless. It's a weird little magic illusion sort of thing. I like that. Gwyn, put this one in A. Probably the best boss in the game, I would say. The final bosses in these games are usually pretty solid. Gwyn's theme, everyone loves Gwyn's theme, the plim plim plong, the bling bling blong. And then he's got a really hard moveset, but you can parry him, so it makes him like pathetically easy. Like, he hits really hard, but once you learn you can just parry him, it's like, oh, okay, the fight's over in 5 seconds. Alright, now we got the DLC shit. I have not played any of the DLC. Maybe one day I'll do like or come back to this so I can be like, okay, here's what else I feel. Taurus Demon, he's not bad. He's kind of a mediocre sort of fight. He's one of the early fights in the game. He's just like a guy, like most of the demons, the Centipede Demon excepted. But the Taurus Demon, the Capra Demon seen here, reappear later on as like regular enemies, and it makes sense sort of in context. They're not bad though. Now that I'm saying this, I'm putting Pinwheel down to D. Like, this is the mediocre line. This is where it starts getting bad. Now we got Bell Gargoyles. Holy fuck, I cannot speak. Bell Gargoyles. I'm gonna put you in like B. You're fine. It's not bad. It's okay. Aesthetically, it's in a far less interesting area than the Man-Eaters. It's also more fair. Like, Man-Eaters are just, it's like a panic moment where you're fighting this boss, and he's already tough, and you're on a really thin ledge. And then another one comes in, it's like, holy fucking shit, I barely survived, what am I gonna do now? Bell Gargoyles, holy fucking shit, are a lot more fair. Like, the second one comes in at half health, and you can summon, like, 2 NPCs. It's so much easier. It makes it a lot less interesting. Moonlight Butterfly, I really like this one. Very pretty, and it's a ranged boss that still works really, really well if you're melee only and it comes in at certain points. It gets close, and you can hit it. I love this one just aesthetically, and also great music. Capra Demon, you're going in D. I don't mind the boss. The boss room itself is kind of bullshit, because it encourages you to cheese it. It's like, it's a fucking, you walk into this room that's the size of like a fucking like toilet stall, and there's like 2 dogs running at you, and there's the Capra Demon, and he's coming at you also, and he's gonna fucking murder you. It's like, okay, cool, that's really nice of you. So you have to run up these stairs and then get on a tiny ledge and then fend off these dogs and then do like a plunging attack over and over again at the Capra Demon or hit him with range if you have magic or whatever. It's not good. The whole thing is a fucking stupid gank fight. It's terrible. It's almost an E tier. But the Capra Demon itself is like perfectly fine. It's a well-designed fight. Gaping Dragon is, I'd probably put it also in B, leaning towards A. It's pretty solid. It's mostly like a spectacle sort of fight where you have this huge fucking dragon and it's like a big gaping maw on its chest and it's very creepy and spines all over the place. And you have to hit its like tiny little head and it sort of flops around. That's funny. That's like the best part of the fight. And it's in one of the worst areas in the series though. So like everything in the depths in Blight Town just makes me want to fucking blow my brains out. Chaos Witch Quelaag, probably in like C, where it's like it's a fine fight. It's like it's fine. It's like there's like a spider lady. She's got her tits out. I don't know. She spits like fire at you. That's not good. That's bad. Cecil's Discharge. I forgot about Cecil's Discharge. This is actually my favorite fight in the game because it's like a gimmick fight, like fucking Demon Souls. There's this fucking demon dude just like hanging out and he's like asleep and then you steal his sister's clothes and he gets fucking furious at you and you can fight him normally if you have ranged options, or if you wait for him he'll slam like his arms down like your cliff ledge you're standing on, but if you try and run away he'll like hop after you and he'll like cling to the side of like the cliff there and you can just fucking knock him off and he just dies. And it's it's sad. It's like a pathetic fight. And he's like a very sad, pathetic, very sympathetic kind of character. So it makes you, it's really fun. I like it lore. When you build in like the lore and the story and shit into the boss fights, that's the stuff I really like. Iron Golem, this is fucking Tower Knight, but like less interesting. It's almost a D tier for me, and on tiny little area to fight, and you fall off like constantly. I do not enjoy it. Now we're into Dark Souls 2. I've not fought the Rotten, Executioner's Chariot, Skeleton Lords, Covetous Demon. Let me quickly recap on Dark Souls 1, I guess. Way more varied. Like, you go fucking everywhere, from some of the worst fight, like the worst fight in the series, to some of the best. It's everywhere. It's fucking everywhere. There's no consistency. And that's a controversial opinion because I do not like the game anywhere near as much as even Dark Souls 3 or Demon Souls, Bloodborne. Dark Souls 1 for me just drops the ball really, really hard, especially in the second half. Last Giant is one of the few I have fought. It's also like, it's fine. I like the giants in Dark Souls 2 where they have like these like empty like heads where it's just like a round hole. It's very creepy. It kind of looks like the dark sign sort of thing where it's like just the hole. I like it. Aesthetically it's kind of cool, but as like a fight it's kind of whatever. I have not played any of these fights. There's like one other in here. Vendrick, nope. Pursuer, I put him at B. Like, he's not bad by any means. No, I can't do that. It's C. I cannot put him up there with fucking like Armored Spider even. It's like he's a fine fight, like whatever. One of the problems with Dark Souls 2 I have is like the fucking the way like the iframes work on the rolling, the movement, like everything. They made movement significantly worse compared to Dark Souls 1. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. I really don't. Like the stat that you have to increase in order to increase your iframes, like what the actual fuck? Fought you, or you, or you, or you, or you. This is just, I just want to get these moved so it can look nice and I can be like, okay, we're almost to Bloodborne. We're almost to a really good game. We're almost to like the second, I'd say probably the best game, like FROMSOFT game. And you, and you, and you, and you. Okay. One Reborn, thank God, we're finally in good games. One Reborn, give you a fucking A tier. You're so fucking good. It has a similar sort of gimmick to the Tower Knight. But it's leaning towards S, I would say, because it has way more interesting moveset and a cooler arena, and like visually it's all fucked up looking. All the Bloodborne bosses, for the most part, look so cool. Ebrietas, also A tier. All so fucking weird, and like the lore behind it is like, what the fuck, and it's all creepy and really, really fun moveset. It's fun. Like a lot. The thing too is that the general gameplay also sort of reflects where Demon Souls is a lot more sort of slower and cautious, and you feel very dungeon crawlery, I would say. And Dark Souls 1 is kind of that, but it's like this halfway step between like Bloodborne's really fast, really frenetic sort of stuff, and then like the slowness and cautiousness of Demon Souls, but it's leaned more towards Demon Souls, and it's not really doing... It's the halfway measures usually are not good. I would say Dark Souls 3 is kind of exception to that, for the most part anyways. Where sort of that more towards the fast sort of stuff is still really good. You can't really do half measures, I feel. Mikolash, Host of the Nightmare. This one's fucking great. Mikolash is another really fun gimmick boss fight. He's almost S tier, I would say. What the like he just runs away and he hits you really. He occasionally like attacks you with like a tentacle thing when you corner him. He's super easy, but the first time you play him, you're gonna get frustrated because he just runs away, and you gotta like find how to like corner him just the right way. Very fun. Murgo's Wet Nurse is, for being one of the 3 possible final bosses, I would say is kind of weak. She spawns like clones of herself, and the aesthetically it's really, really cool. The moveset is kind of weak. She's really, really fast. She's got like a bunch of spinning blades, and I always feel like they're kind of inconsistent in terms of like what they hit and what they don't, but not bad overall. And Amygdala is probably the weakest boss. Yeah, it's almost D tier just because it's super easy. And it's just in a random area, and you're my second playthrough, my most recent one, I just kind of stumbled into him. I was like, what the? I was like, how do I fucking get to the rest of the Nightmare Mensis? And I took like a wrong turn, and I encountered him. And I was like, oh, okay, and I beat him in like 5 seconds. It's like, oh, what? That's it? Oh, okay. He's kind of disappointing. Martyr Logarius. Oh, I forgot who he was for a second. I love Cainhurst. All the Cainhurst stuff is so fucking cool, visually, aesthetically. I really like his boss, like his moveset, and he looks super, super cool. In terms of like cut content stuff, the fact that he got sort of moved around, a lot of the cut content stuff is Bloodborne is really interesting to me. But I like Martyr Logarius, and he has a really fun moveset, and you fight him on like a roof, like a snowy rooftop. Very cool. Gehrman, First Hunter, fucking S tier. Like, oh my god, Gehrman is so fucking good. He's so fast. He's one of the second of 3 optional boss fights, 3 final boss fights rather. And he hits super hard, but you can parry him, and he feels like Gwyn, where they're sort of doing like a comparable sort of moveset thing to the player, where it's like a humanoid, but faster and faster, louder, more intense. To quote George Lucas. Moon Presence. This is the 3rd of potential final boss fights. Kind of disappointing, I would say, because he has a couple really fun moves, like one where he takes you down to like 1 health and you can't heal for a little bit. It's really fucking hard. It's like, holy shit, and you start panicking a little bit, but if you play it really, really cautious, it's not that hard. It really isn't. It's like, oh, this is a really tough move, but the actual fight itself is okay. It's kind of easy. Visually really, really cool, but there's also some hints in the cut content that originally there was supposed to be a second phase, so that might have improved it. That's about it. Ludwig, Holy Blade. This is probably an S tier as well. This is one from the DLC. I fucking love the DLC. It is so good. Ludwig, he has the fucking Moonlight Greatsword. I did like a fucking like soy boy, like the soy jack, like pointing face, like fucking poggers, you know, like it's visually it's so fucking weird looking, and it's really fun. You have 2 distinct phases that are very, very different. One where he's kind of like bestial, and he's got a little bit of magic, and then the one where he's more humanoid, and he's got the sword. So fun. Living Failures. I'd probably put them at B. It's basically just a bunch of dudes around a tree. It's not bad by any means. Now I'm saying that, I'm gonna put him in C. Like they're kind of mediocre, like nothing really to really write home about, but they're fun enough. It's before one of the best like boss fights in all this fucking series. Oh, there she is. I'm just gonna put her up there. S. Fucking Lady Maria is so good. Like, Oh my god, one of the it's like Gehrman like 2.0, I would say. It's almost an S plus tier. S plus I'm saving for my favorite boss fight in the series. Or I have like all these, I guess, the Soulsborne sort of stuff. Lady Mary is almost there. Like, she is so fucking fun. Just a really fast, really hard fight that continually evolves, where it's like it doesn't feel like there's really distinct sort of phases. She just keeps pulling out new stuff. So there's like 3 or 4 sort of in there. And we're going back to Cleric Beast. Cleric Beast is fine. He's not bad. He is like he's probably the first boss that most people are gonna fight, even though he's completely optional. He's really good for sort of getting into your head, like the aggressiveness of Bloodborne. He's pretty fun, but he's not bad. Lawrence the First Vicar, I have not fought him because I was like, what is the level requirement for this optional boss? Oh, way too high? I'll try him on another playthrough. So I'm waiting. Next time I play through the game, Lawrence, I'm coming at you. He is in like the DLC as well, and he's completely optional to finish that. This is the actual final boss of the DLC, Orphan of Kos. He is one of the hardest boss fights probably in this whole list. But he's so much fun. He's so much fucking fun. He's the only one I had to summon for in the entire game, because he is fast, super aggressive. He again has sort of continually evolving sort of phases, more like 2 distinct, I guess. But still on 1 health bar, and he hits fucking hard. He is really, really hard, and you can kind of parry him. Like Gehrman, once you realize you can parry him, he gets a lot easier, like Gwyn. Where Orphan of Kos, parrying is a lot more situational, makes it harder. Father Gascoigne, I'd probably put him with Cleric Beast. We're sort of solid enough boss fight, nothing like super sort of mind-blowing. But like the first sort of change, like the phase change where after a while he turns into like a beast, that's really fun for like, oh wow, like it sort of sets the stage for like, okay, you can have multi-phase boss fights even as your first like actual one. Bloodstarved Beast I put into C. I find him way too aggressive for early, like he is so fucking hard for how early he is in the game. You can go to that whole old Yharnam area, it's completely optional, but you can go it really, really early, and he is so hard. Like, he is ridiculously hard. I always come back to him later on, just because, like, holy shit. Vicar Amelia, she is really fucking good. Almost S tier A. Just super fucking fun, fast. I love the aesthetic, like the weird sort of wispy hairs, and you fight her in like the big cathedral. Very, very cool. Fucking love Vicar Amelia. Witch of Hemwick, this is a controversial one, but I like her. Because it's basically just like, oh, there's like a witch, and then she spawns enemies, and she's invisible, and you gotta find her. And then there's another Witch of Hemwick, also totally optional boss. There's a lot of optional bosses in Bloodborne, but I really like it. I like it a lot. Dark Beast Parl is kind of like a generic. He's C, almost B. He feels like really like typical. There's basically 2 boss types, I guess, in Bloodborne. Either it's like humanoid sort of characters like Father Gascoigne or Gehrman or Maria, or it's like beast characters like Vicar Amelia, fucking Orphan of Kos, Moon Presence, Witch of Hemwick's kind of like a sort of humanoid. Parl's just kind of like, oh, he's like the archetypal sort of beast. He's like the most generic boss fight, except he has lightning. So that's kind of cool. This is a really fun humanoid one, the Shadows of Yharnam. There's 3 of them. It's the Nazgul, basically. Just fucking 3 ring wraiths. Just ambush you in a graveyard. And they all have slightly different movesets, so you gotta be really careful. After, I think as far as I can tell, it's based on time. After a while, after a certain amount of time, they basically upgrade and they go fucking psycho mode. It's crazy. Rom the Vacuous Spider. I find her weirdly adorable. I don't know why. I like the fight. It's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying, but I like it. So it's A, but I'm bringing it down to B, just because it kind of annoys me. But she's not bad. She's not bad. She has a whole bunch of fucking enemies, and you gotta be really careful. And if you hit her on the head, it does basically no damage. Same with her like spider kids. But I like the idea of this like dumb spider. Really funny. Celestial Emissary. This is probably like a B as well. It's almost C. It's kind of like, just because like it's a horde boss where there's like a whole bunch of dudes. There's a whole bunch of these little alien dudes, and one of them is like the imposter. You know, it's like it's like Among Us, and one of them, it turns big after you hit enough. Not really a whole lot. Oh, right. Here's all the fucking, fucking Chalice dungeons. I do, like, none of these. I did some of them on my first playthrough, and I was like, oh, I don't like any of this. Third playthrough, I'll probably do some more of these just so I can say, oh, I've fought these bosses. But otherwise, this is kind of whatever. A lot of these I just have not fought. Brain Sucker. There's Brain Suckers in the game, but I didn't know there was a boss. There you go. Learn Dark Beast. What is that? I swear to God, is that an actual boss in the game? I don't fucking remember him. If he is, I do not remember him. Man-eater boar. There's boars. Fucking, I don't know. Now we're into Dark Souls 3. Bloodborne. Kind of recap here. Mostly really high. Couple lows. Couple medium. But mostly really fucking good. This game is just so good. Old Demon King. I fucking love Dark Souls 3. Old Demon King is... We're gonna put him in, like, B. Okay. Let's be fair, we're going to put him in A, but the two people that make him are going in B, because I find the two boss fight in that one is just really fucking hard. This one from the DLC, and you fight two bosses and then together, and then they turn into one once you beat them both. Old Demon King is really, really fun, really kind of fair, I would say. If it was just Old Demon King, I'd probably be happy, but Pontiff Sullivan going in... He's like high B, low A. It's kind of a hard one. He's kind of really, really simple. He's just super fast, super hard hitting. That's a lot of the bosses in Dark Souls 3 is they're just really fast dudes. He gets like a shadow towards the end, and he like replicates his moves. So it's hard to say. Aldrich I would rate higher. Because I like Gwendolyn. I really like him both from story perspective, like character lore. So he has like all like Gwendolyn's like torso and head like grafted onto him, and he's a weird like sludge guy, and he has like all kinds of different moves, and he uses some Gwendolyn's moves and some like new stuff. It's fun. Yorm the Giant I would put in A. A lot of people are not a fan of Yorm, apparently. It's the fucking second that I'm aware of repeat of the... Where the fuck is he? The Storm King fight, where you have to... his sword is on his throne, and it, like, slays giants. And, like, lore-wise, it's really interesting, because he left it there for... in case, like, he, like, saved a kingdom, and then... But they kind of feared him, and he's like, okay, well, I'll leave this sword. If I ever go, like, crazy, or if you ever want to kill me, I will leave this sword right next to my throne, and you can just fucking kill me anytime. And he gave, like, a copy of it to his friend. Really cool. Dancer of the Boreal Valley. This is a fun fight. This is a fun, fucking fast fight, and he gets two swords later on. Like, she's nuts. She's fucking nuts. She's probably, like, the hardest and craziest of the fast guy sort of Dark Souls 3 characters. Osteros, the Consumed King. I'm not a huge fan of this one. He's too easy in his first phase, and then he goes fucking insane in the second phase. And you just like, holy fucking shit, like, leave me alone. And he just doesn't stop coming. Champion Gundyr, he's basically the same as Eudix Gundyr. It's almost the exact same fight, and he's kind of like a C. He's decently challenging, but like it's simple. Just like big heavy guy, super simple strikes. Eudix works really well as like a tutorial sort of boss. He's the first boss you fight like 5-10 minutes in the game. And then Champion, you repeat some later, but harder, in basically like a sort of dark echo of the same area. Not super interesting. Dragon Slayer armor, probably a B, I guess. It's hard on when you're playing like a magic build, I find, because he's super hard hitting, and you need to tank him. Magic, he seems kind of resistant to magic, so it's like, okay, I don't mind him. He looks like Ornstein from Dark Souls 1. That's cool, I guess. He has like dudes shooting like shit at you in the second phase to sort of say that in like the simplest way possible. He's okay. Lothric, I fucking love Lothric. He's like the penultimate boss of the game, not counting the DLC. Super fun. It's like an inverse of Ornstein Smo. You fight one, and then you fight two that are like, they're like fused together, like one's riding on the back of the other, so you get like magic, and he teleports around. Really hard fight. It also seems kind of like a boss where like gimmickly it works really well to summon somebody, but you can do it by yourself. It's really fair. Ancient Wyvern, I'm gonna put him in like C, because aesthetically, sort of as like a gimmick, it's kind of interesting, but not really. because you can actually fight him if you hit him enough, but the intended way is to basically work your way up around sort of these ledges, and you go up some stairs, sort of circle way around, and you get onto like a ledge, and then you can jump off and then like plunge attack, stab him right in the head. It's like, okay, it's okay. Here's a really good fucking boss fight. We got a couple really good ones. Nameless King. This might possibly be my favorite. There's 3 really fucking amazing boss fights in this game. Nameless King is one of them. So hard, so challenging, with a melee character especially, where because you start in the first phase. He has 2 health bars. First phase is he's like on a fucking bird, and like a dragon bird. It looks more bird than dragon. That's why I say bird. And like he flies around, and then occasionally he gets down and he breathes fire, and he throws like lightning at you. Lore wise, it's also super interesting because he's the firstborn son of Gwyn, who was like stripped of his rank after he betrayed him, seemingly to side with the dragons. That's fucking cool. Soul of Cinder is the other one that is so fucking awesome. This is the final boss fight if you don't have the DLC. And it's actually amazing. Like the first phase, he's changing constantly between like different moves and different playstyles. And he has like a great sword, and then he's using a lance and miracles, and then he's using like a dagger and pyromancy, and like he's moving between all these different sort of character playstyles because he's an embodiment of all the lords who've ever linked the fire. So he's like all like the different moves, like the different sort of playstyles that people are fond of. And then the second phase, he just turns into Gwyn, but like fucking really hard. So much fun. Champions, Grave Tender, and Wolf. This is like a C fight. I missed him my first time through. Just completely missed that whole like ice crystal area. He's kind of boring, honestly. He has like he's like a bunch of wolves, and then you kill those, and then you almost kill him, and then a big wolf shows up. Apparently, this was the intention for... God, where the fuck is he? There's a fight... Oh, Abyss Watchers. This was the original intention for that before they completely overhauled that fight. So it's like, okay, whatever. Sister Freed. She's almost S tier. I think she just goes on for too long. She has 3 fucking phases. Maybe stop at 2. It's a little bit much. You can probably just do 2 and it'd be fine. But she's really fun, aesthetically really cool. You're like a burning church. Demon Prince, we're gonna put you down in C. I do know this is this one, and then Demon. Where the fuck is he? Wait, oh god, I mixed up my fucking things. Where is? Where the fuck? I mixed up my fucking shit entirely. Okay, Old Demon King. This is a totally different fight. This is like all like Vanguard mixed with like magic. You're okay. I'm gonna move you down to B. And Demon Prince is the one I'm actually thinking of, where it's like the 2 that move into 1. Old Demon King I completely forgot about. I forgot he fucking existed. Lore-wise, kind of interesting. He's like one of the last of the demons. And he's like hiding down in like near the demon ruins. Not bad, but kind of simple. Half-Light, this one's good. This one's fucking good. You're going in A. I would say it's about the same level as Old Monk. It's a similar sort of thing. It's the PvP fight where you summon somebody in. I would say also, however, in this case, that like the NPC they summon, if there's no one available, if you're offline or whatever, it's actually really fucking hard. He is harder, I would say, than just fighting than fighting like a player most of the time, because he's really beefy. And a lot of players are going for like a glass cannon kind of build. They might be going... It can vary. I never fought Madeir. I'm gonna admit I never fought Madeir. I'm gonna probably try next playthrough because he is rumored to be very hard. Speaking of hard, Slave Knight Gale. This is a fucking S tier. These 3 bosses are some of the best in like the whole series. Gale is painfully difficult. He might be the hardest boss fight, I would say, in the entire like Souls series, including Demon Souls. Most of the Demon Souls fights are pretty easy once you sort of work out the gimmick. But yeah, he's fucking hard. Like, seriously. Vort of the Boreal Valley is like one of the first bosses you're gonna fight, if not the first. Let me think. Yeah, no, he'll be like the first. Oh yeah, second, I guess, after fucking Eudex, after Gundyr. Vort's not bad. He's kind of a whatever boss. Like, he's fine. He introduces like Frost as like a status ailment in this one. That's kind of cool. He hits pretty hard. That's about it. He's all right. Curse Rod of Gritwood. This one is like an E. It's It's a little gimmicky. There's basically like pustules sort of things. It's like a giant like torso made out of wood. Presumably it was like infected or some, I guess some kind of curse was involved in it. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of lore that I can sort of suss out. It's fine. It's not really that fine like at first, and then you fall through the floor, and there's like the first phase you have a bunch of fucking enemies, just like mooks, just running around, just a bunch of mob guys, and they're like, I hit you with my spear, it's a whatever. And then you fall through the floor, and it just gets worse. It gets like worse, because he has like an arm that he grows, and you can only really hit him, you can only really do damage in like these pustules that grow in parts of his body. It's not fun. Crystal Sage, I would put also in D. It's almost not fun as well, where I almost just I just don't enjoy it. I've played through it in a couple different builds, and I just do not have fun with it. I find it comically difficult for how early it is in the game. He makes a bunch of clones of himself. I don't enjoy it. It's basically, where's fucking Fool's Idol? It's basically Fool's Idol, but not fun. Dickens of the Deep, probably a B tier. Like, he's not bad. There's like one guy that's like the actual boss, and there's a bunch of other, like, wait, god damn it, I'm thinking of the Abyss Watchers. Deacons of the Deep, fuck it, stay in B. Deacons of the Deep are fun. I'm mixing up bosses because there's too many bosses in Dark Souls 3. The Deacons, pretty fun, I would say. It's like a horde fight, and then there's like a spirit sort of thing that comes down and possesses one of them, and you kill that, and the boss bar goes down until finally the actual like head deacon shows up, and then you can kill him. Very cool. Abyss Watchers. This is what I was thinking of. Yeah, I'd say B. That was my intention. Where like there's one guy, and he's really fast. He is so fucking fast, but he still feels like really fair. He's probably, to my mind, I'd say he's probably one of the fastest and the hardest hitting in terms of just like comparisonly, like how hard he hits compared to how fast he is. Then second most to like Dancer, I'd guess. Hi to Lord Wolnir. I like him. I actually kind of like this fight. It's like a B, C. A lot of people would put it way, way lower. It's a gimmick fight. You can clearly tell that it was like made to sort of shuffle around the content, because there's a lot of content in Dark Souls 3 in terms of like story progression and characters and areas and lots of different shit. So he was originally where Yorm was. Where Yorm was in the fight. You see it in trailers and shit. And now he's just like a guy in like darkness, and he has like fucking like bangles on his arm, and you beat those off, you destroy those, and that's basically it. And he summons like a sword at one point. Not a whole lot. That's Dark Souls 3. Mostly really, really good. Couple of fucking S tiers. Mostly just like A's and B's. It's a little bit more varied, but now we're on to Sekiro. True Corrupted Monk. This is similar to Sister Freed. It's like a big fuck off, like 3-phase fight. It's almost S tier, I would say. It's sort of there's a corrupted monk, but it's only like her spirit or something, and that one's not so good. Divine Dragon, we're gonna give you fucking S tier. This, another gimmick fight, really, really cool aesthetically, visually. Sekiro kind of has the advantage over a lot of these games by having like one playstyle. It's more of a traditional sort of action game. So things can be sort of balanced more properly, so you don't have to be like, oh, this character, like one player might be coming in with like a crossbow and a big sword, and another person's coming in with just magic and like no clothes, and someone's coming in with just a club. And yeah, but Divine Dragon it's a gimmick fight where you kill some dragons, and then they sort of respawn. Eventually the big divine dragon shows up, and you have to like parry its lightning back at it. So fucking cool. I'm gonna just do this right now. I've never fought Demon of Hatred. Oh, Father. I'm trying to remember. Yes, that's the one at the end of Harada Estate. Fucking Sekiro has a lot of bosses, some of which repeat. I would say Owl's not bad. This one's, for one thing, this one's kind of a foreshadowing of like a later boss fight. Ishin, Sword Saint. This is probably, I'm assuming this is intended to be the final boss. I like him a fair bit. But I'm not a huge fan of the final boss. I feel it's like 4 or 5 phases. That's 4. It's way too long. It is too fucking long. Emma, the Gentle Blade, never gone down the route where you fight her. Genichiro, Way of Tomoe. Here it is. This is, Here's fucking Genichiro. This and his first phase, when I fucking find him, is my favorite FromSoft boss ever. The story, where sort of he's like a rival character, and you finally meet up with him. It's so fucking cool. Where you're finally at this point where you've been chasing this guy for most of the game, and he's kidnapped your lord, and the fight, and it's so fucking cool. For me, it was the moment where the game really cemented itself in my brain. Like, holy shit, this is amazing. And you parry lightning. He throws fucking lightning at you, and you parry it back. That's fucking awesome. Inner Genichiro, that is on the same tier as Ishin. Wait, no, this is... Is this, like... No, this is the fucking tutorial, like, supposed to lose. This is like a save. Because he hits you too hard to really do fucking anything. You die in like 5 seconds. Otherwise, it's mostly the exact same as the later one, to be fair. Inner Father, which one is this? I don't remember fighting this version. Okay, let's see. Inner Ishin, because that one is... Because that's the last boss. Inner Ishin. I don't remember fighting the inner version. There's like... They reuse some of the bosses a lot in this game. Gyobu Oniwa, fucking amazing. Holy shit, I am Gyobu Masataka Oniwa. And he fights you on a horse, and you pull... It's so fucking cool. It's so fucking cool, and you run around this big arena. It's amazing. Lady Butterfly, this is an S tier. This is an S tier. This is like the get good at parrying now. You will learn to parry and learn to deflect. And you will do it now kind of fight. And it's so cool, and you're in like a big burning room, and she summons spirits. It's so good. So good. Here it is. Genichiro Ashina. Here is together. These two. Yeah, this is my favorite fight, I would say. In like one of my favorite boss fights, probably in any game ever. Probably in like top 5. If I had to like name 5 boss fights. It's perfect. For me, this is a perfect fight. Folding Screen Monkeys. This is a gimmick one. They bring back a lot of gimmick fights in Sekiro, and I like it. This one, there's like 4 monkeys, and they're in like this smallish kind of area, and one of them is invisible, and one of them is silent, and one of them is like constantly behind you. It's based on like the hear no evil, see no evil, do no evil monkeys. Very cool. Guardian Ape. This one's good, but also very hard. I find this one to be like comically difficult every time I go and play it. But like, and I'm slightly rethinking my decision because it's also one that gets me angry, like irrationally angry at times. Like just like annoyed. Not as bad as Bed of Chaos, just like annoyed. Just because it hits fucking hard, so hard. But I'll leave it at A. Corrupted Monk. Put that in like fucking B. It's where's the fucking true Corrupted Monk? Where is it? It's this one, but less interesting because it doesn't have like the full moveset. Headless Ape. There it is. We're gonna put you. It's basically the same boss fight. It's like Genichiro and Genichiro Wave Tomoe, where it's like a second sort of phase, but like completely different moveset. Pretty fun overall, I would say. Headless Ape does, if you have like the spear, there's like a fucking like worm parasite dude that's like in his neck. Pretty cool. Great Shinobi Owl. Which one? This is the one. Yes, that's the one that you have to fight. I would put that probably in S. Probably A tier. A lot of the fights in Sekiro are really fucking good, but there's only a couple that are like, holy shit, like my dick is exploding right now. For me, at least. A lot of people really fucking love Sekiro, and I do too. But this is you fight Owl like 5 times, and you fight Ishin like 4 times. They reuse the boss fights mostly with the same moveset. There we go. Here's Ishin Ashina. Here, this is for the same like path as Emma, so I have not fought her, and I've probably fought these two. I just don't fucking remember when. Ashina Elites. These are like the mini bosses that kind of get reused. Yeah, see. I'm gonna bump Inner Genichiro up, I think. It's fine. They're not super great. Out of like the reuse sort of bosses, these are one of my least favorite. Long Arm Centipede, fucking S tier. This is like fucking. This is also learn to fucking deflect or you will die. And it's got such a weird fucking design. It's like a weird body horror monster. Very cool. Armored Warrior, right? This is the European man, also S tier. Kind of a gimmick fight too. he's your Japanese katana folded 1,000 times, superior Nippon steel, can't pierce through his European plate mail, so you have to like knock him off a bridge. And lore-wise, it's heavily implied that he came to Japan to seek like a cure for his sick son. We never see the son, so he could have died, but it's fun, lore-wise. Shichimen Warriors, fuck these guys. These guys are not fun. You have to use like very, very specific like abilities and moveset against them, and they slow your move. It's not fun. These guys are not fun. Snake Eyes. Also, I fucking hate the Snake Eyes because I don't think they're fun at all. Like, they are weirdly tanky. I feel like if there were more glass cannons, I'd probably be more willing to sort of let them slide. But their fucking cannons are so huge, and there's only like 2 of them. But you have to get through them. You cannot, like, walk by them, really. It's like, oh, okay. The Glutton boss fights. These are, I guess, the Glutton and the Drunkard. They're fine. They're not bad. They're sort of above average as far as boss fights go. Sekiro, sort of considered. It's pretty good. Miss Noble. I like the Miss Noble. This is there's like, you walk in this area and it's all full of mist, and it's like, oh, what's the deal with this? What's the deal with this area? Okay, sure. And you gotta sort of make your way around to like this noble's house, and there's an open window, and it's like, oh shit, there he is, it's the boss fight of the area, and you like drop down and you kill him, and that takes one of his health bars. It's like, okay, I'm gonna fucking hit him really fast, and he dies in like 2 seconds. You're like, oh, that's it? You just broke into this man's house to kill him. Like, thanks. Orin, I really like her moveset, and she flows really creepy and really weird. Another learn to deflect or you will fucking die in 5 seconds boss. Overall pretty good. Sakura Bowl. It's basically the same as the Flaming Bowl, but with Sakura petals instead of flames. They're both not fantastic. Okami leader Shizu. I have no fucking memory of this dude. Leader Shigenori Yamauchi. I think I remember this guy. There's a lot of really like small mini boss fights that are kind of like, wait, what? Did I fight this guy? Because you don't remember the extremely Japanese names. Did I fight this? No, I don't remember fighting Great Carpet Tendon. I remember this guy. Oh, Great Serpent. Here we go. This is a fun one. This is a fun one. Also kind of a gimmick fight where you encounter him firstly and you have to stealth around him, then you stab his eye and you hide in like a little palanquin. And then later you can sort of fuck him up real good. You come back, and then it's not really like a proper boss fight. It's a gimmick. It's a gimmick fight. It's very similar to King of Lant, I guess, where you basically can't die in the actual proper fight. Great Colored Carp. I swam by him. I don't remember fighting him. Samurai General. There's a few of these. I'd say they're pretty solid. They're really good boss fights as far... Because there's like 3 of them. It's hard to tell. There's a little X3 sort of thing there. For like the reused ones. They're pretty good. They're very similar, but I like their moveset and they look really cool. Chained Ogres, probably in C. They basically act like a fucking professional wrestler, but overall they're not super interesting. They're weak to fire. That's kind of cool. That introduces that sort of gimmick. Blazing Bull, like I said, it's a fucking Sakura Bull, but on fire, and you do the Blazing Bull first. 7 Ashina Spears. This is an S tier 1. I love the spear boss fights. They're super, super challenging while still having a really good moveset. Lore-wise, I think they're like sort of like the elite sort of special forces, I guess, kind of thing. There's only 2 of them, even though it says there's 7. I wish we could have fought the other 5. I would have loved it. Lone Shadow. These aren't bad. They're in like B. They're very fast, but they don't really deal a lot of damage. You can break their posture really easily. They're pretty good. Headless. I fucking hate Headless. They're like Shichimen Warriors. They're not as bad as Snake Eyes, but they're not good. They're not good. Again, it's really specific. You have to use specific tactics against them, and there's just too many. Shinobi Hunter. I don't remember this. Juzo the Drunkard. Here's the last of Sekiro. They're not bad. Where's the Glutton? I swear to God. Is he in C? Did I put him in A? Holding screen, go Anua. B. And yeah, okay. That makes sense. I was like, did I put... These are the exact same boss, basically. It's a big fat guy, and he spews like poison at you. That's about it. Sekiro, I would say, is a lot more varied, where you have some really bad mini-bosses, but also, like, amazing, like, Elder God tier, fucking S+ tier bosses. There's a lot of variety, because there's a lot of reused mini-bosses, and I think that kind of is part of it. Now we are on to Elden Ring. There's a lot of these that I have not fought because there's a lot of reuse. A lot of reuse and a lot of mini bosses. Godskin Nobles. Both of the Godskins are not great. I would say the Noble's worse. He's a big fat guy and he rolls around, and that's kind of... They're both creepy looking. They're both like flayed skin looking dudes. I don't know. Rykard, this one's fucking great. This is another one. It's another Storm King fight, but environmentally it's a lot more interesting. You're in this big like lava volcano sort of room, and like Rykard is so fucking creepy looking, and he looks weird, and he's all mutated, and it's cool. I like it. I like Storm King, so I like Rykard, so I like Yorm. That's basically it. Elder Dragon Greyall. There's like 5,000 dragons, and I did not fight this one. Didn't fight this one. Here it is, Star Scourge Radahn. This is my favorite boss in the game. This one is it's a gimmick fight. I love the gimmick fights. I think you've noticed a pattern. Radahn is so fucking cool. He got like his mind is broken. He's like wandering out in the wasteland. So like the Castellan of his castle's like, hey everybody, you want to get together and beat the shit out of this guy so we can hopefully kill him and put him out of his misery. So you and like 7 other dudes, and you can meet them all. Some of them you can meet before the fight. Some of them you meet just there. And you all get together, and when you get into the boss arena, you have to like summon them from like summoning signs, and you can resummon them as the fight goes on. It's so fucking cool. It's you and a big mob of dudes against one really tough foe, and I love his horse. I love Radahn riding on Leonard in a tiny horse. It's so fun. Mimic tier. This is another S tier, I would say. Because it's you. You go into this room and it's like, what am I going to fight in this boss room? It's you. And you fight yourself. Like, holy shit. So cool. I love fights where it's like a mirror inverse of you in games. That's so cool. And then afterwards you get to summon him. You summon yourself. I don't remember this guy. Valiant Gargoyles. This is... each time they reuse this boss, it gets less and less cool. Like Man-Eaters. Really cool. Fucking Gargoyles. Or are they? Valiant Gargoyles. Meh. Like, they don't do anything particularly interesting with it, because the only really difficult thing about Man-Eater is... it's what you start with one, and then there's 2 of them. And then Bell Gargoyle, less interesting fight, less interesting circumstances, way easier. Valiant Gargoyles, same fucking moveset, and they just 2 from the start. Okay. Didn't fight Fia's Champions or you. Astel, Nastroborn of the Void, fuck you. I do not like this fucking boss. No, you're going to D. You're going to fucking D. You're gonna get the D, you son of a bitch. A lot of the bosses in in Elden Ring, I really feel are like, there's a lot of Sekiro influence in terms of like the moveset, but you don't have the ability to like deflect them that you can in Sekiro. Where like in Astel's fight, where you have like these fucking like magical attacks, if you could like parry these back, that'd be so fucking cool. Godfrey, the first Elden Lore. This is like a foreshadowing for one of the best boss fights. It's okay. Morgoth, the Orman King. These 2, I mix up, and they're basically the same fight. You just get them repeated. It's like it's a fine fight. It's okay. It's okay. Mostly melee, kind of quick. Like most of the bosses in Elden Ring, they're super like you have to wait like 20 minutes to be able to attack them. Mog the Omen, didn't fight him. Didn't fight Borealis. Commander Niall, that one's I fucking hate this one. This one, it's the same as basically every other fight, for the most part, where it's like, hit you really fast and really hard and you never stop, but there's also a bunch of dudes in the room. Fire Giant, no, I'll put you in C, and you're going down to fucking E. I fucking hate Niall. There's one worse than him, but we'll see. Fire Giant. He's not bad. I really like the sort of the environment, and it's also sort of the whole mountaintop of the Giants area is kind of cool because it looks like they're redoing some of the stuff from the Cut Demon Souls area, Northern Limit. There's supposed to be a 6th area, and then time constraints and all that shit got cut, and a lot of the stuff that's in the data files ends up reflecting a lot of the stuff that's in this area, and also the painted world in Dark Souls 3. I didn't fight this one. Godskin Duo. Where'd I put Ornstein and Smo? Because it's better than Ornstein and Smo, I would feel. There's too many fucking bosses in this series. Dark Souls 1, that's A. That did not put him A. Yeah, put him in A. There we go. It's one of the better bosses, I would say, because it does a similar sort of thing to Four Kings, where you there's more than two. It lies to you, but also there's like an NPC summon, and like it's really fucking hectic. You summon like your NPC and then like your mimic tier, and it's like just this. It's like a gangbang going on there, and it just doesn't stop. Malekith, this is like one of the worst examples of like never stops attacking ever, and there's like no time for punish, and he just keeps attacking you. If you could deflect with this boss, it would be 1,000 times better. Dragonlord Placidusix. I don't remember this one. I think I fought him. I don't remember. Gideon Ofnir. Wait a second. There's Mog the Omen, Morg, Loaded Blood. Okay, I didn't fight that one either. Gideon Ofnir, the All-Knowing. He's kind of like a... It's kind of like a boss fight where it's like similar to the player, where it's similar skill set and similar moves, and he uses like an Estus flask to refuel himself. He's pretty fun. I like those sort of fights like Mimic Tier where it's like yourself. Horlo. I love fucking Horlo and Godfrey. This one's really fucking good. These 4 boss fights are really good. Horlo, I would say, is more like a traditional. It feels like a Dark Souls 3 sort of fight where it's really fast, really hard hitting, a lot of moves. But there's still enough time to punish, and it's a lot more forgiving. It feels a lot more sort of in like a... Because the gameplay in this is basically the same as Dark Souls 1, with a little bit of 3, in terms of speed especially. So I feel it doesn't really work. Most of them just don't work as well. Didn't fight this one. I fought Loretta, Knight of the Halig Tree. Right, this is the actual boss. Because you fight her twice. One's like a spectral image, and then one... like again, it's not a bad boss fight, but this one is very much sort of, it's like the fucking Asylum Demon, Stray Demon, Fire Demon stage, versus you reusing the boss. It gets less interesting. Didn't fight this one. Millennia, I don't hate Millennia. She's not at F. She's like at E. She can heal like, where the fuck is he? Where the fuck is, like Leechmonger can, but it feels wildly unfair. Because she can, like, if she hits your shield, she can re-heal, even though you did not take any damage. There's very little consistency to it. It feels wildly unfair. It's like the one boss fight in this whole series that I would say is, like, actually, it's just unfair. Like, it's unfun. I summoned for the fight. I beat it. That's the thing, too, about Elden Ring, is it's a lot harder to go really minimalist. You have to be summoning. You want to be summoning your Mimic Tiers. You want to be going all out with all your abilities. It's a little bit more like Demon Souls in that respect, where you want to be going all out just this once, but every single time. Radagon, fucking same tier. Radagon is not a fun fight, and then the Elden Beast feels like it should be like a secret fight. Like something if you do, depending on sort of circumstances, like, where the fuck is he? Like the Moon Presence. But he's significantly less interesting, the Elden Beast. It's just, there's like unavoidable like attacks. It's not fun. It's not a fun fight. Radagon, the first phase is a bit better. If it was just Radagon, I'd probably put him in like C, but Elden Beast just brings it way down. Cool design though. A lot of the lore stuff in Elden Ring is a lot less interesting, and a lot of it feels a lot less fleshed out than the rest of the series. Godric the Grafted, he's like a B. He's okay. He feels a lot more like a Dark Souls 3 kind of boss. Definitely more fair. Red Wolf, I would put him in A tier. This is a fun Bloodborne-esque sort of beast fight. It's not particularly like mind-blowing, but it's fun, and I like sort of the scholarly sort of areas. And Renala, this is another really good fight. There's like, there we go, I forgot about Renala. This is a really fun fight. There's like 2 phases, and it's a little bit more gimmicky, and there's like there's stuff going on. I'm losing my ability to speak, so we're gonna move quickly. I'm gonna move Rickard down to A though. I feel like he doesn't deserve to be up with these 4. Ancestor Spirit, I don't remember him. I probably fought him, but I don't remember him. Royal Knight Loretta, yeah, this is the A. This is the same as Loretta and I, the Halig Tree. I think the second time you find him, she has like a couple more things. That's about it. I don't remember him. Don't remember the Magma Worm. I think this is the one I fought. I think this is the one I fought, is like the Ancient Dragon. That's like the first one. If I'm in the area and it's like, holy shit, you're fighting a dragon. It's like the best dragon fight in the series. And then it just gets repeated like 30 fucking times. Didn't remember this one. Erdtree Avatar. This is like it. Fucking F. No, it's E. It's not that bad. It's E. Because there's one that's worse. It's about stray demons here. It's just the Asylum Demon again. It looks different. It's the exact same fucking moveset. It's not even funny. Don't remember you. Don't remember you. Erdtree Barrel Watchdog. Yeah, you're like a bee. You're not too bad. It's a fun sort of weird like statue thing, and it throws flame. There's like 4 of these. The thing with Elden Ring is because it's an open world game, right? There's a lot more fights. There's a lot more reused mini bosses. Don't remember you. 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 Rune Bear. That's like the big fucking bear. That's fun. That's okay. Soldier of Godric. You are. This is like the tutorial boss, and he's fun. He's pretty simple. He's a fun fight. Don't remember you. Knights Cavalry. Put you in A as well. Mostly solid. There's too many of them, of course. But when you go out at night, you fight these horse guys, and they've showed up. Don't remember you. Don't remember you. Don't remember you. Here we go. Tibia Mariner. This one's A, bordering on S. There's like a fucking dude, and he's in a boat. And there's like a bunch of fucking undead shit. I love like those who live in death stuff is really weird and interesting. And like he slams a boat. He's kind of easy, especially when you're on horseback. But very weird. Crucible Knight. I think I remember this. It's like a C. There's too many of these fucking fights. I don't remember this one. I fucking hate the Deathbirds. These are also just really annoying. I don't remember you. Tree Sentinel, probably B. Sort of a decently solid fight. You see him at like the start. There's a whole fucking ton of them. And they're sort of similar to the Knights Cavalry. They're just like a guy on horseback. Don't remember you. Don't remember you. Don't remember you. I'm getting random texts from people. Don't remember you. Don't remember you. Don't remember you. A lot of these are in like the mini dungeons, and I just don't remember them. Don't remember you. Didn't fight the duo. Don't remember this one. That's like the dragon, right? Yeah, I didn't fight him. Didn't fight him. Didn't fight him. There we go. Putrid Avatar. You go into fucking F. You are one of the worst fights. It's Erdtree, but annoying, and it has like poison. It has like the Scarlet Rod. Didn't fight you. Didn't fight you. You're okay, I guess. It's basically the same thing as there's like the Crucible Knights. Now I remember. Yeah, but there's 2 of them. It feels, but also it's more fair somehow. Don't remember you. Don't remember you. Godskin Apostles here are slightly better than the Nobles. They like stretch and do weird stuff. I put you in B. The way they move is a lot more interesting than the Nobles. Rafted Sound. Don't remember him. Yeah, the Mad Pumpkin Heads, they're kind of okay. They're like middle of the road sort of fight. It's like a big dude with a pumpkin for a head. I don't remember you. Don't remember you. Abductor Virgins. I didn't know that would count as a boss, but sure, I'll put you in A. Because you're fucking hard. They're hard, but I find they're fair, and the abductors, like, they take you to places if you get caught by them. Pretty cool. Don't remember you. Don't remember you. Don't remember you. Also had Cheese Spare. Right, you are actually pretty good. They're like these really big things, and they fucking wriggle around. They got trees poking out them. Design-wise, they're really cool. Apparently, they were like a cut boss for Dark Souls 3? Question mark. Didn't fight the other Estelle. Didn't fight this one. Don't remember this one. Falling Star Beast. Nope. Didn't fight the other Mimic Tier. Nope. 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 Tree Sentinel duo. That's like the Crucible Knight duo. It's a little bit better. Sort of up that a little bit, I guess. Don't remember you. Don't remember. There's a lot of fucking. Right. Stone Digger Troll. I can't remember you. You weren't bad. I think I fought like one of you. The thing is about Elden Ring too is like, and I beat it. I skipped a lot of shit too, as you can see with all these skip, didn't fight. There's a lot of fucking repeat content. There's a lot of like, the game's like 80 hours long, and you just like forget shit. Don't remember you. Don't remember you. Patches. The classic patches. You're going up an A because I like patches. I don't remember you. You are I hate you. I fucking hate Commander O'Neill. Where's the other commander? Yeah, this is like the worst. This is going in F. Flying Dragon. I think I fought one of these. Black Bacon. Don't. That's kind of the this is a longer video than I anticipated. Elden Ring is way all over the place. Ever else, this one probably is the most even of just like. It also does a lot of shit that trends towards the bottom, like Dark Souls. This has the most that I've never played. Even of a game that I played, like even Dark Souls 2, there's a lot of shit in here. Never fought it, but never played. I only played like a tiny bit of the game. So there's sort of a little bit of allowance there, but yeah, fucking all this Elden Ring, all of that. But sort of take it from the top and do a little sort of a recap, I guess. Fucking Genichiro, this is the best boss fight in all this shit. A lot of Demon Souls up top, good chunk of Bloodborne, couple Elden Ring, a few DS3, fair bit of Sekiro as well. Even some of the fucking repeated mini bosses I fucking love. Demon Souls as well, very trends towards the top. Bloodborne, Dark Souls 1 occupies a lot more so the middle spaces. Couple Demon Souls in here. Like in the middle, this is like super mediocre, like Dark Souls 1, a couple Bloodborne, couple Dark Souls 3, a few Sekiro as well, because there's a lot of repeats, a few Elden Ring, and like Dark Souls 1 has like some fucking terrible fights. Same with Elden Ring. I'd say they're probably about on the same level of quality. Elden Ring overall, I'd say, is a little bit better than Dark Souls 1. And then fucking Dark Souls 1 has like one of the worst boss fights I've ever fought, so it's kind of a whole different tier. But yeah, this is the official like objective tier list for like every FROMSOFT game. If you disagree with this, you are objectively incorrect. So yeah, Clayton, I hope you learned something when you watch this. Maybe, I hope that this will sort of inform your own opinions. That is so many fucking bosses. That's correct. That is fucking correct. Thank you all very much, and I'll see you in hell.